Doctrine and Devotion's 4th annual conference is still happening. Some of you have been asking. Yes, it is. It's going down Friday, September 18th and Saturday, September 19th. The theme is on Covenant Theology. Stay tuned for more details. Welcome to Doctrine and Devotion, a podcast exploring Christian faith and practice from a Reformed Baptist perspective. My name is Joe Thorn. I'm the lead pastor of Redeemer Fellowship in St. Charles, Illinois.
And I'm Jimmy Fowler, executive pastor at Redeemer Fellowship.
What is going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you?
Well, okay, nothing. I guess we're done. We're not talking. I ask you what's going on, you say nothing.
Yeah, because I got nothing going on.
Lots going on.
What are you
Lots going on.
All right, I got lots of meetings.
Yeah, meetings.
Yeah.
Yep, it's good.
Okay. You've had lots of nothing.
Yeah, I've been chilling.
Yeah.
I took the week off, so I had
Took the week off from everything.
Everything. Well, I mean, I meet with you.
Well, that's not your job. Your job was never to meet with me. That was always pleasure.
Yeah, but what the podcast is work. It's a kind of work.
What do you mean?
I got to write stuff. I got to upload.
And that takes you all of what?
Yeah, I don't keep track, because I love the labor.
Do you? Your labor of 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm. No, it takes longer because I gotta listen to some of the podcast. Make sure I got the stuff on there. Especially the little things that we add. All that stuff.
That kind of stuff. Okay, all right. So you're on the tail end of your vacation, of your staycation.
We are recording on Saturday.
Yes,
and so there's a Wahlburger. Is open now.
Have you gone yet?
If you guys don't know what Wahlburger is, it's Mark and Donnie Wahlberg's burger joint, and
that their other brother, who's the chef.
So it's all of them. But it would work without those two.
Financially giving towards it, yes.
Yeah, and popularity.
Yeah. But their brother is a chef.
Is the chef. Yeah. Chef making burgers. He's a cook. But anyway, doesn't really matter. So everybody's been really excited that this thing is finally
And have
open.
you tried it yet?
No, well, there's no drive-through. It's like a Five Guys style. You got to go in and order. And Jen pointed out to me today, we're planning on going tomorrow. Jen said that there was a line outside, people waiting at 9:30. They open at 11.
I did not find Wahlburger that good.
You've been?
Yes.
When?
In Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've never been. So
you know what? I'm going to say it. Bobby Flay, your place was better. Your burger was better. Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
His burger was better.
Yeah. Bobby Flay is the ginger Guy Fieri. That's all he is.
Okay. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
His burger was better.
All right.
If I had to choose.
Right.
Bobby Flay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it was good. His burger was good.
Can't trust a ginger cook. I just can't.
Wait,
no,
what?
No.
You can't say that.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
You're getting us canceled.
By the gingers?
Yes.
Okay. They have no power. They have no control.
You are getting
they
us.
Have no souls. We know.
Thank you guys. It has been a good run. We have enjoyed our time together. And unfortunately, Joe has ruined everything.
Sorry. I'm only sorry to the Vitos. Vitos? I think that's how you pronounce their last name. Yeah. They're good gingers. I like them.
Okay. Well, have you met a bad?
Yeah. I've met all the gingers. And I've met there's two that were pretty cool. Maybe three.
Now, I will say Wahlburgers was better than Gordon Ramsay's burger.
Oh, goodness. You go to all these cheesy,
first of all,
TV cook show cooks restaurants.
First of all, I've gone to a number of some of their restaurants, and I've gone to Ramsay's place out in London, which was actually really good.
That's the wrong comparison.
But
you got to be comparing Wahlburgers to other stuff.
But I'm comparing now Wahlburgers Vegas, Flay Vegas, Ramsay Vegas. All right. And so a lot of times when I'm out there, I'm out for meetings, and this is where these guys want to go.
Ugh.
So they're always like, "Oh, I'm staying at Caesars, so you want to go meet here?" I'm like, "All right." Or I'm staying at Flamingo, let's go here, or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
So it all depends on where these guys are at. And so
you've been talking a lot about Vegas lately. It's like
dude,
you got
I'm ready
the Vegas
to go.
itch, don't you?
I do, though.
You're ready to go.
I did look up that I could go to Caesars right now if I wanted,
even with all your tattoos.
You know what? I heard they're rescinding that. But I don't have a neck tattoo though.
Okay, not yet.
No, not. What do you mean not yet?
Come on.
I'm not getting a neck tattoo.
Get it under the beard.
I'm not getting a neck tattoo.
You're getting a neck tattoo.
I am not getting a neck tattoo.
It'll compliment your tramp stamp.
You know I don't have that.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
I think I posted a picture at some
Stop
point,
it.
didn't I?
You know I don't
Okay.
have that.
All right, I will share a picture.
Joey.
Do you have tribal on your back?
Joey, you said something else. Hold on.
No. Tribal tattoo on your back.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Hold on, Joey. You made it sound like I've got a tattoo on my lower back.
To be fair, it's kind of hard to figure it out where it's at. I've only seen it a couple times. It's on your back.
What do you mean it's hard?
Yeah,
it's not hard.
It's not like you're like a V. You don't have the back like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like the V cut. So it's easy, like, oh, it's like on the lower back. It's just kind of.
I'm just saying, don't be putting things out there that are not true.
That's true. Yeah,
it's not true. Come
tribal on your back, lower back, probably. Can't remember.
No, you can remember, and you know the difference because there's someone else that you know that might have that, and you know.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. See. And he concedes.
No, I don't concede. No, because you're stonewalling me and you're forcing me to say something that I don't want to say. No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it
because you're actually wrong.
No, I'm not. And you know who I'm talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about, but you're actually wrong.
No,
that person does not have.
You have made it very clear.
They do not.
That this person has it on the lower.
They do not. You're talking about my wife.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, she does not. She has a tattoo that goes from her lower back all the way up to the middle part of her upper back. And there's no tribal involved.
Anyways.
Now, there was a little tribal stamp back down there a long time ago.
Oh, but
it's gone now.
She either got rid of it or she added to it.
Yeah, she covered it up in this big giant tattoo.
There you go. See, there it is. I was right.
No, you said it.
We both could be right.
Okay, we're both right.
I think in this situation, we're both right.
I think in most situations, we're both right.
All right, Joe, what are we talking about today? We are...
Last chapter.
Last chapter of the
1689.
And after this, we're done.
No
more.
We're going to wrap it up.
Well, there's no point in meeting anymore.
No, I mean, what are we going to do? Actually, we do have some ideas, and so we'll start to roll those out next week, maybe. But today we're going to try and look.
Well, not next week. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
because we're going to finish out.
Yeah.
So we're not rolling it out.
No, roll out the ideas. We have some ideas.
So we're both right again.
Yeah. Like we always are.
Goodness.
Yeah.
We are really good.
We are never wrong together. We're only wrong individually on occasion, but together
we're always right.
So we're going to try and look at paragraphs 1 and 2 of chapter 32 of the 1689. And this is of the last judgment.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and read paragraph 1, Joe.
That's a good one to start with since it comes first.
So I won't do paragraph 2 yet.
There you go.
All right. God...
So far, so good.
God has appointed a day wherein he will judge the world in righteousness by Jesus Christ, to whom all power and judgment is given of the Father, in which day not only the apostate angels shall be judged, but likewise all persons that have lived upon the earth shall appear before the tribunal of Christ, to give an account of their thoughts, words, and deeds, and to receive according to what they have done in the body, whether good or evil.
Day of judgment.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is continuing on, right? Like in the last chapter, it was talking about die and be judged.
Yep. Yeah. We all await this day of judgment. The vast majority of everybody will die and then face that judgment. Some will be alive when Christ returns. So the resurrection will happen. The return is there. And then there is this great day of judgment where Jesus is the one who is said to be the one who passes this judgment, for it's been given to him.
Is it selfish of me to want to be dead before it happens?
See, I want to be alive when it happens.
Really?
Yeah, because I want to see it. Like I want to see the bodies come out of the grave. See, I've been watching zombie
I'm
movies
opposite.
for a long time.
I want to experience the resurrection.
Yeah. Well, I will experience.
I want to experience the full measure of this grace that God has given us.
You want to feel like the blood come back into your veins and like all those chemicals pushed out and the bones get all strong and you start standing up. Yeah.
All these chemicals pushed out?
Well, because when you're going to be like, what do they call it? Dehydrated or whatever they do in the embalming process. It'd be embalmed. Okay. Yeah, the embalming.
Okay.
They take out your blood.
Okay.
And then they put chemicals in there to keep you preserved. And then when you get resurrected, man, all that stuff gets pushed out.
On a very lesser level, I'm also afraid of zombies, so I don't want to experience that aspect.
You want to be the zombie.
I want to be
there. You go. So there are a number of passages that talk about Jesus Christ being the judge in the end. one of the good passages that I like is in John chapter 5, starting in verse 22. For the Father judges no one, but has given all judgment to the Son. Just think about the confession, what we just read. That all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. Truly, truly I say to you, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life. He does not come into judgment, but is passed from death to life. Truly, truly, I say to you, an hour is coming, and now is here, when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. For as the Father has life in himself, so he has granted the Son also to have life in himself, and he has given him authority to execute judgment, because he is the Son of Man. So passages like that, passages like Acts chapter 17, verse 31, he has fixed a day on which he will judge the world in righteousness by a man whom he has appointed, and of this he has given assurance to all by raising him from the dead. So all of this authority has been given to Christ, and we read about that in the Great Commission in Matthew 28 as well, of course, to execute this judgment in the end. But Jimmy, it talks about this day is going to be a day when apostate angels are judged. That's a little trippy.
No, it is. I mean, 1 Corinthians 6:3, do you not know that we are to judge angels? How much more than matters pertaining to this life? So, I mean, along with that, these apostate angels shall be judged, but likewise all persons that have lived upon the earth shall appear before the tribunal of Christ. So, like in this, so these angels, these fallen angels,
right,
these ones at the beginning that have rebelled against God will also face this final judgment before God.
Yep. I mean, in Jude 6 talks about it as well. The angels who did not stay within their own position of authority, but left their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal chains under gloomy darkness until the judgment of the great day. So, yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily talk about it as much as we probably should, because when we're thinking about the oppression that's happening in the world through demonic forces, we know that they are limited, that the devil is bound, he is chained up so that they can no longer deceive the nations as the gospel is going out to reveal the truth to the elect. And yet they are in this period of dreadful anticipation of this day. They will be judged. So because God is holy and just, and he must punish sin, and justice must be carried out, it's not just humanity that's going to answer for their sin, but even these fallen angels. So it's a holistic picture of justice for all creation, not just for humanity, which should encourage us, those of us who long for justice, on that broad scale.
Yeah. So not just the apostate angels shall be judged, but likewise all persons that have lived upon the earth shall appear before the tribunal of Christ. So let's stop right there.
Yeah.
Right. So here we see, but likewise all persons that have lived upon the earth. So it's all of us will be judged. No one will be exempt from this. No one's going to be exempt from the judgment of God. There is a day for a day of reckoning, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be a day of judgment where we will all stand before God, and you can't hide from it. And I think there are, obviously there are people that think this is not true. It's not going to happen. They're in for a rude awakening.
I think a lot of people think, well, because I don't believe, that's not my belief. It's not relevant to me.
Yeah.
It's relevant to everyone. And the reason that everyone who has lived upon the earth shall appear before the tribunal is because everyone who has lived on the earth, save for Christ, is a sinner. We've broken God's law. We've committed these crimes. And that's what a tribunal is. It's a court of justice. So there is a court of justice that we will all have to step into. You ever been to court, Jimmy?
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Been to court. Yeah. Was the judge nice to you?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Must be nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah. I don't feel like it. I didn't get treated that well. I didn't feel like.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get in trouble?
Well, that's why I was there.
I know, but
Yeah.
but the ruling though, how was the judgment? How was the ruling?
It's kind of foggy when I went in.
I don't know what that means.
I was there.
All right.
This was back in the 80s.
Yeah. So what were you on when you went in?
Just on my own, gumption, on my own 2 feet. Mm-hmm. There might have been other things I was on. The point is that I don't think I dressed appropriately.
I wonder. Oh, really? You're thinking you did not dress appropriately. The guy that, balks at any sort of formality.
No, I like dressing up. I like dressing up now, but back then, I don't like people telling me what to do. If you didn't know this, Jimmy, I don't like people telling me what to do.
I did not know about that. Yeah. I did not know that about you.
And so when I was told,
I figured you are a team player.
I am on Team Jofo.
Yeah, unless like Team Jofo disagrees, then you're like, I'm on Team JoJo. Forget Jofo.
Yeah. Mostly Team Joe.
Yeah,
that's the one I'm on. So yeah, we're all going to appear before this judge, and this judge, unlike some judges in America, this judge is perfect. He will execute justice perfectly. He will not overreact. He will not look aside and just give you a pass because you happen to be associated with the right people. We will have to give an account, it says. Give an account for thoughts, words, deeds.
Yeah. I mean, Ecclesiastes 12:14 says, for God will bring every deed into judgment with every secret thing, whether good or evil. So, yeah. This is where I think when we talk about like avoidance culture, right? Like within Christianity, we have this sense of like, as long as I avoid, I'm good. Like avoid, and I'm not saying it's bad, right? Like if I avoid certain friendships or relationships or circumstances, then I'm going to keep myself away from sin. And there's truth to that. That's right. But this is much more than that. It's not just the physical aspect of sinning,
right?
But it's your thoughts, words, and deeds. So it's your the secret sins of your heart are going to be brought forward.
This is, Jesus talks about this in Matthew 5 concerning murder and adultery when he's talking about anger and lust. He's like, yeah, well, you've heard, don't commit adultery, but I'm telling you, you're guilty, and you're guilty enough to go to hell.
Yeah,
for lusting, for being angry. Forget murder. I know. Okay, so you've managed to not kill anybody.
Congrats.
You want points? You don't get points for that.
You want a cookie?
Because you still fail. And so this is where conviction and even despair hits people before their conversion, as they're being drawn to Christ, or as they're seeking, however you want to put it. These are people who begin to understand and agree with, and then mourn this idea like, I will have to give an account for not just my words and deeds, which are enough to condemn me easily, but even my thoughts. Dude, thoughts, Joey. Yeah, I got some thoughts. Sometimes I share those thoughts.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't.
Yep. A lot of times I make sure I'm not recording.
Yep. Yep. You know what? We should.
No.
In the next episode, we should talk about the time I had some thoughts that I told you I wasn't going to share with somebody who was doing something inappropriate around us.
Oh.
And then I went ahead and shared my thoughts with that person.
Yeah, let's talk about the next. Well, all right, Thursday's episode, we're going to talk about that, because that was beautiful. That just happened yesterday. I'm surprised we didn't talk about that in the front end.
I didn't think about it till just now.
All right, we're going to talk about that on the next episode.
All right, so we all have to give an account to receive according to what they have done in the body, whether good or evil. So this is the judgment. Now, this brings up some questions for people about, well, what about, I thought I was, as a Christian, I'm forgiven and I've received the righteousness of Christ. And yes, we're going to get into that. We're going to explain that. But first we want to remind you guys that we have not given up on you.
No. We have not forsaken you.
No.
The governors may have.
Oh, yeah.
But we have not.
You know what? We will never give you up.
We will never let you down.
That's right.
Yes.
We will rickroll you all day long. But
I wish I had that here.
We need to have
a rickroll button.
We'll get that.
We're going to get the rickroll button going.
So Doctrine and Devotion's 4th annual conference is going down September 18th and 19th. September 18th and 19th in St. Charles, Illinois. It might be Geneva, Illinois, actually. We have to find a new location, but it's still in the same area. We have Dr. Sam Renihan coming in as the keynote big dog. And he is going to be teaching on covenant theology. We've titled this Covenant Theology, God's Promises for God's People. So Sam, the man, is going to be teaching, and Jimmy and I will be doing a little bit of preaching as well on these subjects. But this is an important conference, especially for people that want to be introduced to covenant theology
Yeah.
or become sharper in their understanding of the ins and outs of covenant theology, this is good. Jimmy, where do they go if they want to register this and get all the information?
Yeah, head on over to doctrineanddevotion.com/conference and you'll get all the details there.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna try that just to see what.
Oh, you're gonna make sure I did it. Yeah.
Conference.
doctrineanddevotion.com/conference.
Bang, right there.
I know.
Perfect.
See,
you know why?
I know.
Because you know Brian Malcolm did
I
that.
know Brian
And we can
Malcolm,
trust
and
Brian
he
Malcolm.
does not mess up on
That's
this.
right.
He does not.
No, we didn't have Steve do it.
Yeah. So make sure you head on over to doctrineanddevotion.com/conference for more details and to register. Now, Joey, we're going to be judged.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into, can I go with paragraph 2 now for you?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
That's your prerogative.
That's another good song.
And it's not a good song, but it's a well-known song.
The end of God's appointing this day is for the manifestation of the glory of his mercy in the eternal salvation of the elect and of his justice in the eternal damnation of the reprobate who are wicked and disobedient. For then shall the righteous go into everlasting life and receive that fullness of joy and glory with everlasting rewards in the presence of the Lord. But the wicked, who do not know God and do not obey the gospel of Jesus Christ, shall be cast aside into everlasting torments and punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power.
So there's the answer to the question that we sort of teased at the end of paragraph 1. Well, how does this work if, Jesus offers forgiveness and life eternal with him in the kingdom with the Lord, if we're going to have to answer for our sins? And so it's in understanding the whole point of this. The point of the day of judgment is not just for the manifestation of justice, but also the manifestation of the glory of his mercy, the salvation of the elect. So there are two things happening. And I even had one of my kids recently ask me, so why doesn't God just save everybody?
And that's a great question to ask.
He could have saved everybody, couldn't he have? I said, absolutely, he could have saved everybody. And so they asked, well, why didn't God just save everybody? And Myra said, well, let me ask you a question. Why did God save anybody? Why not just send everybody to hell for our sins? That would be fair and just.
Yep.
So it's still a legit question to ask, why didn't God save everybody? And the only answer that we really have in Scripture, and this may not be satisfying to everybody, but it is for his glory, that his mercy and his justice would be seen broadly, manifested in perfect totality. And so at the day of judgment, those who are saved, right, the elect, called the righteous, they go into everlasting life and they receive this fullness of joy and glory with rewards in the presence of God. And it's not because they did well. This is I think the confusion that some people get. They look at paragraph 1 and it says, well, if they do well, they go into heaven. If they do poorly, they go into hell. And the reality is, well, we are judged on the basis of our works, and our works condemn us, but the elect through faith in Christ have received the works of Christ. And so we are judged not based on what we have done, but what Christ has done for us, substitutionary, but then also in us through sanctification. So we are admitted into the presence of God, and we receive all of this. He's able to be just and the justifier of men, because he's still punishing sin, but instead of punishing us, he punishes Christ, or has punished Christ. And he's maintaining the balance of justice because the righteousness required of us is fulfilled in us through Jesus. So yeah, the simple answer is Christ is our substitute, and in him we are admitted into glory. Apart from him, we stand on our own and experience a different outcome. And if I just preached a sermon on substitution, preaching out of Luke's gospel on Barabbas. So you can actually go to the Redeemer Fellowship website and look for this sermon on substitution. Again,
someone today told me that sermon was fire.
Oh, well, I don't know if it was fire.
Yeah, no, it was gospel fire.
But it was we tried to make our sermons about the gospel. So, that's where we go. That's where we go. So you can check that out. So what about, though, Jimmy, the wicked, the unsaved, or the reprobate, which is a good word. We don't oftentimes use that word as much these days. What is their outcome at judgment?
Eternal damnation.
That sounds bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think later on it talks about shall be cast aside into everlasting torments, plural, torments, and punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power.
Now, we actually have some listeners, some friends that are Orthodox evangelical believers who are annihilationists. And so they really did not like our superficial conversation about annihilationism. They really took issue. They were very gracious. They were very kind. But they've actually, I haven't seen it yet, but I know that they recorded their own podcast to talk about annihilation. So they're pro-annihilationism. And that's not our position. But you should know that there are people out there that do take that side. And so I'm sure you can find that if you start looking for it. Now, I might try and find it again and link to it before we wrap up this whole thing. But the confession is very clear. It's everlasting torment. It's a place of everlasting destruction, but it's away from the presence of the Lord and the glory of his power. And we've talked about this before, that the presence of God that people are missing are his gracious, supportive, benevolent, kind presence. But his presence is manifested in justice, judgment, or wrath. And so they're missing out on the bright side, or on the brightness, the goodness that they took advantage of throughout their whole lives, and even in this state of judgment persist in unbelief and rebellion throughout. So it's not as if they've blown their lives and now they're in hell and now they regret it. They continued in their unbelief and continue to incur judgment upon themselves throughout this time. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair way to talk about it. But we do understand that there are Christians out there that don't take that particular view. They're definitely in a minority, and we think that they're wrong. But again,
but I think here's where we're both right, is that should spur us on to sharing the gospel indiscriminately with those around us, right? That should spur us on, regardless. Now, like you said, we think they're wrong. They think we're wrong. But yet we both know there is a day of judgment. And so
we both believe we're called to evangelize.
Exactly. To preach the gospel to our neighbors, to our family, to ourselves, like preaching the gospel to our children. We want to, I mean, it's an old phrase. We want others to, be right with God, right?
It's a great phrase, right? Get right with God. Because you know what it means to get right with somebody, right? To reconcile, to let there be peace, to enjoy things, to squash the beef, right? Well, when you're dealing with, real crimes and real tragedy, well, that becomes a much more insurmountable task, right? Hey, why don't you go and get right with your brother? You had a fight. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. Why don't you go ahead and get right with the guy, you stole his wife. Try and go get right with that guy. Well, that's a bigger task, right? Oh, hey, listen, you led a Ponzi scheme and took all their money. Go get right with that guy. So that's a bigger deal. Well, any sin that we've committed against God, every sin that we've committed against God, is more significant than that. So we can't just make it right. Only God can make it right, and we graciously accept that by faith. So we want people to get right with God. We want people to experience what we have begun to experience, where we have found our purpose. And if we aren't motivated to share the gospel with people because of their potential future, it has to mean on some level that we're just not that compassionate, not that concerned, and don't have the neighborly love that we should have for one another. But I also wonder if it means that maybe we don't appreciate the salvation that we have and the escape that, we've been blessed to encounter through Christ.
Maybe we have not been captured by, to the extent of what Christ has done for us in saving us.
I mean, it should be so thrilling. I mean, think about people that, they'll talk about the amazing comeback victory of their sports team in some awesome playoff game, right? And they were there, they experienced it, but they relive it, they talk about it, and when they talk about it, they get all excited about it, and holy cow. Well, that's great, that's good, but this is so much more significant. We should be reliving Christ's victory every day.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can follow us online on Instagram and Twitter at Doc and Devo, or on Facebook /Doctrine and Devotion. You can head to the website, drdevotion.com. There you can contact us. You can sign up for the email blast, or hit the store, jofostore.com, and grab some gear. You know, we got our conference coming up, so head on over to drdevotion.com/conference. Look at the details, register. We're moving forward. We're really excited about it. Fresh pod every Monday and Thursday, blog post on Wednesdays. Later.